Having them. I've been married to him for 61 years, so. Oh, not right. Okay. Well, I put a collection of old clippings and photographs to show you the Roquette's way of precision dancing, where every head had to be turned a certain way on the count, or else the ballet mistress would be out in front, you know, saying rehearsal, rehearsal. And this fellow, John Tiller, was a businessman in Manchester. He was on the Cotton Exchange, and in 1885 he had these 4 little girls in a show, and he finally thought, I don't want them to be going in different directions, you know, let's do everything the same way. Well, it caught on and it became very popular, and so eventually he had these different troupes all over England many, many years ago. So lots of girls wanted to get into the Tillers, so you had to go down to London and arrange an audition. I was lucky enough to find an ad in the Stage newspaper, so I got an appointment and went down to London, 3-hour train ride. I think I was probably just 16 at the time, and my aunt and uncle met me. We went over to Cambridge Circus, where the Tiller schools were, and I auditioned. I did tap and ballet and sang a song, and then I had to wait to see if they accepted me. And then the mail took forever, you know, you'd be watching the postman coming every day. So anyway, I was fortunate enough to get into this group, and we were taken over to Scarborough, a seaside resort. I think there were 6 of us in this first show, and so we were in rehearsing for a show in North Wales at Llandudno, and the show ran all summer. We did 5 different programs, so we had many routines to learn. And there's a tennis court right next to the theatre, which was wonderful, an outdoor roller skating rink, and we were right on the ocean. So being there 3 or 4 months in the summer was just amazing. We had a head girl, and if we didn't do everything the right way, or you know, got out of hand, she'd report us to the office, the Tiller office, and so we'd, you know, be set straight. Birmingham was at Christmas time. We'd always have pantomime. And so you'd go into a show which was usually Aladdin or, you know, one of the big musical type of shows. And then in the summer, you'd have summer shows at the seaside resorts. Finally, the big thrill was to be chosen to go to London to the Victoria Palace for the coronation show in 1952 and 53. And at this time, the show was called Ring Out the Bells. And the head of the show, this show, by the way, ran for 2.5 years, and it was twice nightly during the week. You'd have your Sundays off, but we had 21 changes of costume in the evening, and we'd be 3 floors up, so we'd have to run up and down those stairs and really move to get on stage again. The Crazy Gang were the 5 men known as the Court Jesters, and I've got a picture that I'll show you of the Crazy Gang. I was understudy to the principal dancer, so I was paid extra each week, which was really nice. And after the show closed, after 2.5 years, I went to the Prince of Wales, which was another show which had more contemporary dance. And so that was a lot of fun. My friends in the trio needed a middle voice for this Andrews Sisters act, and they were booked for 2 years by this one agency. And my first tryouts and getting into the act were going to a USO show and going to Germany for 2 months. So I toured Germany, met Jack, and then that's another story. But living in London was amazing. You know, great ballet classes and voice lessons and shows to see. And we'd go to cabarets after the show to perform in maybe a special evening there. And a few years ago, we had a 100-year reunion in Brighton in 1986, where the Tillers that had performed all over the place came back for this reunion. And so my friend and I went on BBC to talk about the Tillers with this Gloria Hunniford who had the program. And I remember at the time there was a lot of unrest and the Irish were bombing in London quite a bit there. So that was a little scary. But anyway, it was so much fun to see everyone. And the Queen Mother gave us each a lovely notebook signed saying, and the Queen Mother, I don't know how old she was then, but that was a nice gift from her. Wow. So here, here is the reveal here. And here you see, they started grouping at one time and they lost 20 pairs of legs, they said. But I think finally they found where the girls were. Over here is some of the pictures that were taken and the various programs for the 2 Royal Command performances we did. One was the program for the Variety Artists Association, where they take care of all the that used to happen too. But the Variety Artists performance, we did the poodle dance, which is, I think it's pictured here somewhere. And the poodle, we were 20 poodles in a row, and these poodles were part of the show.
Maybe you can pass them around.
Yeah.
In the book.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You want me to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
I've got, I can show you the page on the poodle thing. My friend, a gal that I met somewhere along the line, did this book on the whole history of the Tillers. Wow. And my picture is there, right there. I think that's my leg. But that's the poodle routine, and we had a very, very quick change because there were, the headpieces and the mittens and
Did those people see it?
gloves
Yeah.
and spats and shoes and everything. So it was, and if you ran down a couple of flights of stairs and had forgotten anything, you had to hike back up.
Oh, wow.
So it was.
At the reunion, did you actually have anybody there from the original troops?
I think there were a couple of 95-year-olds that had performed in the Ziegfeld Follies when they came over here. He actually, a couple of the troops used to come over to America, and they said on the boat that the favorite dish of the English gals was egg and chips. They would eat. What that voyage must have been like, I don't know. But it was wonderful camaraderie you had with all the girls.
How many out of your troop showed up?
There were quite a few of them. In fact, I think I've got a picture here. I stayed with a dear friend, and this one down here, I can move that. Some of them are right there on that picture there.
Wow.
And we did a pony routine where we had these, fluffy tails and had to do these kicks where we kicked the back of our heads, as we did these leaps. But the poodle routine,